Welcome to lecture 14 of our HRM lecture series. In continuation with our previous lecture, in today's lecture we will learn about employee retention, its meaning, importance, reasons for employee turnover, and measures for ensuring employee retention. Let's start learning. As we have already talked about recruitment and selection, today we will see what is employee retention. Employee retention, as the term suggests, is retaining the selected employees. And it is said that while having or selecting talented people is essential, retaining them is a great challenge. The more talented people we have, the tougher it becomes to continue them with us, to keep them with us. Now let us see why it happens, why it is tough to retain talented people with us. So reasons for employee turnover. Why do they leave us? Right? Or why it is difficult to retain them with us. Number one, out of frustration and job dissatisfaction. If the worker is very talented and if he or she is not given the assignment or the task as per his or her capabilities, they get frustrated and dissatisfied with their job. And if they are frustrated, if they are dissatisfied, it is quite likely that they would like to leave this particular job. They would like to leave us if they are not satisfied or if they are frustrated with whatever assignment they have been given, because as per their capabilities, if they are not assigned the task, they feel dissatisfied. Right? Then the second reason for employee turnover is constant conflicts with superiors. So if they are in a conflicting situation all throughout with their superiors, they prefer to leave the organization. This is the second reason. Then the third reason why they leave us is the lack of growth prospects in terms of money and position. That means if we have hired talented workers and if we are unable to provide them growth opportunities, it is very likely that they would leave us. So growth opportunities in both the terms. In terms of money, that means if they find that they are not going to get a pay hike equivalent to their performance, they prefer to leave, they opt to leave. And similarly, as we know that money motivates only to some extent, and after that position or the designation or the task, the challenging task that they are assigned, they are given, becomes more meaningful. And if they find that in near future or in future they are not going to get a promotion in terms of position, again they prefer to quit. Right? Then last reason for employee turnover is rude behavior by managers. So this can be rude behavior by the people in the organization, and as we know, no one likes rude behavior, right? So as a human being, since we don't like rude behavior, similarly the talented workers that we have hired don't like rude behavior, and if this rude behavior becomes a normal or a regular feature in their workplace, they prefer to quit. Right? So these are the basic reasons why good workers don't stay with us. Now let us talk about the importance of employee retention, why it is important to maintain our workforce for a longer duration with us, why it is important. So the very first reason is, as we know, till now we have talked about recruitment and selection, and we know that hiring good workers, it's not easy. It is a lengthy process and often costly and time consuming. It is lengthy, that means it involves time, then it involves money also. So in terms of money, in terms of time, in terms of efforts, it is a costly process. It is a lengthy process, and hiring is not easy. So once we have hired good workers, we must ensure that they stay with us, right? So this is the first importance of employee retention, why good workers must be retained. Then the second is organization invests a lot of money in training their employees. So although hiring is expensive, but once we hire workers, we spend money on their training. And if they don't continue with us, this expenditure goes waste. So initially this is an expenditure, but this becomes an investment if these workers stay with us for longer duration, for years to come, right? So again, it is important to retain our good workers because we have already invested a lot of money in training them, right? Then the third one, employees staying longer at the organization. This particular situation results in better adjustment of the employees and an increase in their loyalty and integrity. So if the workers continue to work in one particular organization for long, a goodness or a bonding between the organization and the worker develops, right? And if they are getting all sorts of benefits working in our organization, they become loyal towards our organization, their integrity develops, right? So this staying longer workers, if workers are staying longer, ultimately it helps or it benefits the organization, right? Then lower employee turnover rate results in better organizations than where employee turnover rate is higher. Try to understand this concept. If the workers stay with us for long, that means if employee turnover rate is low, this ultimately leads to increase in goodwill of the organization, right? And if there is increase in goodwill of the organization, it ultimately increases the market value of the organization. So it has many more dimensions of benefits if our workers continue with us for a long period. So all this falls under importance of employee retention. And since employee retention is very important, then what should the human resource manager do to ensure that workers remain with us? Once selected, they remain with us for long. So what are the various measures that are taken for ensuring employee retention? The first one is acquiring the right talent. Now, what do we mean by acquiring the right talent? You see, when we start recruitment process, we have job description, we have job analysis, right? And there itself we define that what is the job and what kind of person we need for performing this job. Now if even after this we don't make a correct selection, अगर हमारा सिलेक्शन गलत हो जाता है, यानी एज पर द नीड ऑफ द जॉब अगर हमने सही वर्कर सिलेक्ट नहीं किया, अब वो जो सही वर्कर की बात है ना, उसका मतलब ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि जो वर्कर हमने सिलेक्ट किया है वो he or she is unable to perform the task. That means the person is under talented, or at times we may make a wrong selection by selecting a over talented worker for a particular task. So what is required is to acquire the right talent. That means neither the worker should be under talented nor the worker should be over talented. Under talented worker won't perform as per our requirement. Over talented worker won't continue with us for long. right? Because there will be job dissatisfaction if the person is capable of performing much higher task and we are asking him or her to perform a task which is say below their performance capabilities. They become dissatisfied and they prefer to leave, right? So the very first measure to ensure employee retention is acquiring the right talent. Then next is offering an attractive package. So I don't think there is much to explain. If we have offered them attractive package in terms of money and in terms of perks and designation, there are less chances that they will leave us, right? So they continue working with us if we are offering them attractive package. So this is the second measure. Then next is promotion engagement. That means there must be better prospects in future for these workers and they must look up to these opportunities when they are performing the task right now. उन्हें पता होना चाहिए कि अगर वो आज अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं तो इसके रिजल्ट्स क्या होंगे। उनको सैलरी मिलेगी, उनको वेजेस मिलेंगी, उनको पर्क्स मिलेंगे, वो तो है, लेकिन क्या साथ साथ उन्हें प्रोग्रेस करने की अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलेंगी, ग्रोथ की अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलेंगी। एंड इफ इट इज देयर, इफ दे नो दैट दे विल get these opportunities, they prefer continue working with us. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज मीनिंगफुल वर्क असाइनमेंट। जैसे मैंने पहले कहा कि हमें राइट टैलेंट लेना चाहिए, तो एज पर दी जॉब रिक्वायरमेंट हमें वर्कर हायर करना चाहिए, ये बात तो हो गई। और दूसरी बात, जब हमने वर्कर हायर कर लिया है तो जितनी उसकी कैपेबिलिटी है, जो काम वो कर सकता है, वैसा काम उसे असाइन करना चाहिए। ये नहीं कि वो काम तो ज्यादा बड़े कर सकता है, ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट कर सकता है, लेकिन हम उसे लेस इंपॉर्टेंट टास्क देते हैं ना, देन अगेन द वर्कर बिकम्स डिसइंटरेस्टेड। तो उसको मजा नहीं आएगा ना, उसको चैलेंज नहीं मिलेगा, उसको काम करने का जो बेसिक satisfaction है वो नहीं मिलेगा, right? So the work assignment must be meaningful. Next is praise and recognition. Again, as human beings, all of us like being praised for our good work. तो ये पॉसिबिलिटी हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में होनी चाहिए कि जो वर्कर अच्छे काम कर रहे हैं उनको प्रेस किया जाए, उनके अच्छे काम को एक्नॉलेज किया जाए और अप्रिशिएट किया जाए। तो वो अप्रिशिएट करना हर बार मॉनिटरी हो ये जरूरी नहीं है। नॉन मॉनिटरी अप्रिसिएशन इज ऑल्सो गुड इनफ फॉर मोटिवेटिंग द वर्कर टू कंटिन्यू विद अस। ठीक है, तो जो भी वर्कर्स आउट ऑफ द टोटल लॉट, जो वर्कर्स अच्छा काम करें, जो काम उन्हें असाइन किया गया उससे भी बेटर परफॉर्म करें, अप टू द मार्क हो उनकी परफॉर्मेंस, so they must be praised and their task must be recognized. तो acknowledgement, appreciation everybody likes. तो जो अच्छा काम करे उन्हें ये मिलना चाहिए, so that not only they become motivated to work better, even others who are not getting this recognition also aspire to get this recognition और वो भी अच्छा काम करने की कोशिश करें। ठीक है, करियर डेवलपमेंट, तो ग्रोथ अपॉर्चुनिटीज होनी चाहिए, ये बार बार हम बात कर रहे हैं। और जहां पर स्टैग्नेशन हो जाता है, जहां वर्कर को लगता है कि जिस पोजीशन पर वो काम कर रहा है उसके आगे जाने का कोई स्कोप नहीं है इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, तो वर्कर कोशिश करता है किसी और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में को ज्वाइन करने की जहां पर उसे ग्रोथ अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिले। तो ये डेवलपमेंट की पॉसिबिलिटीज होनी चाहिए हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, स्टैग्नेशन नहीं होना चाहिए। ठीक है, देन जॉब सिक्योरिटी, तो आई थिंक इसको भी बहुत एक्सप्लेन करने की जरूरत नहीं है। अगर वर्कर को ये लगता है कि पता नहीं कब उसे नौकरी से निकाल दिया जाएगा, यानी अगर इस तरह की इनसिक्योरिटी है, तो इट इज क्वाइट लाइकली कि वो हमेशा ये कोशिश करता रहेगा कि उसे कहीं और जॉब मिल जाए, वो किसी और ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को ज्वाइन करे जहां पर जॉब सिक्योरिटी हो, क्योंकि इनसिक्योरिटी में नो वन वांट्स टू वर्क इन इनसिक्योर्ड एनवायरनमेंट। तो जॉब सिक्योरिटी अगर है तो वर्कर कॉन्टिन्यूज वर्किंग विद अस। इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो चाहे काम करे या ना करे उसकी नौकरी बनी रहेगी। उसको ये क्लियर मैसेज होना चाहिए फ्रॉम द टॉप मैनेजमेंट कि अगर आप अच्छा काम करते हैं तो आपकी जॉब सिक्योर्ड है, आपकी नौकरी, आपको हम नौकरी से नहीं हटाएंगे। तो ये एश्योरेंस चाहिए। ठीक है। एंड देन पॉजिटिव वर्क एनवायरनमेंट, आई थिंक इसके बारे में तो बहुत ज़्यादा बताने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है कि किसी भी वर्कर को एक ऐसे एनवायरनमेंट में काम करने में मज़ा आता है जहां पॉजिटिविटी हो, जहां पर अच्छे काम को अप्रिशिएट किया जाए, जहां पर खराब कामों के लिए पेनलाइज किया जाए। क्योंकि नहीं तो देखिए क्या होता है, एक तो हमने कहा कि जब हम प्रेज और रिकग्निशन देते हैं अच्छे काम के लिए तो ये बाकी वर्कर्स को मोटिवेट करता है कि वो भी अच्छा काम करें। लेकिन अगर हम गलत काम करने वाले को या ना काम करने वाले को कुछ कहते ही नहीं है तो ये अच्छा काम करने वाले को डिमोटिवेट करता है। तो वी नीड टू मेक अ बैलेंस, हमें अच्छा काम करने वाले को अप्रिशिएट करना जरूरी है और जो काम अच्छा नहीं कर रहा है या काम ही नहीं कर रहा है उसे भी हमें पेनलाइज करना जरूरी है, उसको भी वी मस्ट कॉल आउट द नेम्स, हमें वो भी आइडेंटिफाई करके उसके बारे में भी ओपनली बताने की जरूरत है कि हु आर not performing up to the mark। ठीक है, तो ये पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव दोनों तरह के रीइंफोर्समेंट होने चाहिए और वर्क एनवायरनमेंट जो है वो पॉजिटिव होना चाहिए, यानी रादर देन हैविंग क्लैशेस देयर कैन बी हेल्दी कंपटीशन बिटवीन द वर्कर्स, सो दैट विल बी अ पॉजिटिव वर्क एनवायरनमेंट। जो अच्छा काम करें उनके कामों को आप अप्रिशिएट करें, दैट विल बी अ पॉजिटिव वर्क एनवायरनमेंट। जो डिजर्व करते हैं उनको प्रमोशन मिले, दैट विल बी पॉजिटिव वर्क एनवायरनमेंट। तो ये सारी चीजें अगर इंश्योर की जाती हैं तो it becomes easier to retain our good workers with us. Definitely we don't want to retain our bad workers, but every organization must try to retain the good workers, क्योंकि अच्छे वर्कर्स मिलना मुश्किल है, फिर उन्हें हायर करना एक्सपेंसिव है और हायर करने के बाद जब हम उनको ट्रेनिंग देते हैं वो और भी एक्सपेंसिव है। तो ये सारी इन्वेस्टमेंट्स तब काम आएंगी जब ये वर्कर्स, जो अच्छे वर्कर्स हैं, हमें छोड़ कर ना चले जाएं। ठीक है, तो अगर वो लंबे टाइम तक हमारे साथ काम कर रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स वी आर एबल टू रीप द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ ऑल द इन्वेस्टमेंट्स दैट वी हैड मेड in hiring them, in training them, in keeping them, in maintaining them, right? So with this we complete our small topic of employee retention. We'll meet in the next lecture with the next topic.